Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have two combat mods for you. A few weeks ago we released our top 10 combat mods for Skyrim, and in that video we showcased several mods that add entirely new mechanics to Skyrim's combat, like locational damage, timed blocking and dodging for NPCs. We also talked about dodging for the player and how we never really liked it. It always just felt way too clunky or delayed, to the point that it could never be used in actual combat. Well, all that changed with the latest version of TK Dodge. TK Dodge 2.0 is an all new update that fixed a load of bugs, added a bunch of new options, and most importantly made it extremely fast and stable to use. On the screen now you can see the older version on the left and 2.0 on the right. In both clips we're pressing the dodge keys as fast as possible. To really feel just how responsive the latest version is, you'll have to try it for yourselves, but even in this comparison you can clearly see how much better it is in the latest version. You'll also notice that the left dodge has been changed so it's much more effective, and there's now a new forward roll too. The input method for dodging is handled in a few different ways. If you're using a keyboard you can either set a hotkey or rely on double tapping the directional keys. The hotkey will also require you to press the direction key alongside it, so you can't set 4 individual hotkeys for each direction. However, you can turn on the simple mode in the mod menu, which makes it so the hotkey will always backstep only. Dodging is also fully compatible alongside a gamepad, so you can either rely on double tapping the direction or assign a hotkey in the mod menu. By default, dodging will drain 7 stamina, however that can be disabled or changed in the menu. The forward roll will also require the silent roll perk, but again that can be disabled or even changed so double tapping forward will initiate a sprint. In terms of the practicality of dodging, we think it works pretty well. You're invincible for 1 second at the start of the dodge, so if you hit unfairly because of whatever reason, that 1 second of protection should cover you. It'll definitely take some getting used to, and you'll probably want to add some other combat mods to make enemies more difficult or even add dodging for NPCs too. So for that, check out our top 10 or our combat mods playlist. Today's second mod also has a lot of potential for improving the dodging mechanic, as well as just mixing up hand-to-hand combat in general. One of the reasons the 1 second invincibility exists is because of how melee attacks are essentially heat-seeking. This is because both the player and NPCs can turn and change direction during an attack, which is especially noticeable during power attacks. So even if you dodge out of the way, the NPC will just change direction at the last second and hit you anyway, but with the attack commitment mod that all changes. The mod makes it so you can only turn ever so slightly during an attack. Again, this is very difficult to fully understand without testing it for yourselves in game. But on screen now you can see the difference. In vanilla we attack while moving our camera from left to right, and then our character will just turn with it, even if he's mid-attack. However, with the mod you can see the camera almost freeze up when our character launches an attack, and then unlocks again after he's done. At first this might sound limiting, or that it ruins the fluidity of combat. And it sort of does, but not necessarily in a bad way. Turning mid-attack is definitely unrealistic, especially the way it's handled in Skyrim. You can turn 180 degrees mid-swing or power attack, which almost feels like sliding across the ground, or in case of NPCs, having heat-seeking attacks. With the mod it makes melee combat more like Dark Souls in that once you decide to commit to an attack, you have to stay with it. The mod can be used alone, and you might be able to find the right mix of other combat mods to go with it. However, we think it works especially well alongside TK Dodge, because it makes dodging attacks that much smoother. If an NPC swings forward, you can dodge it 100% of the time as long as you're quick enough on your fingers. Also, because the NPC can't fully change direction mid-attack, it's extremely satisfying to watch them swing past you and miss their target. It's also useful for staying on target while maneuvering around with your new dodge ability. The camera is essentially locked in place, so as you keep moving around, your character will always face the general direction of the enemy, even if you're dodging in any direction. This is another mod you'll have to get used to, but if you try out both in game for about 20 minutes, you should get an idea if this style of combat is right for you. So if you're interested in giving them a go, or want to check out any of the other combat mods we've covered, then you can find everything you need down below. And as always, be sure to leave an endorsement on any mod you enjoy. And just before we wrap up the video, we'd like to thank WeMesh for sponsoring this episode. WeMesh is a video watching app that lets you share and watch videos in perfect sync with friends anywhere in the world at the exact same time. You can even chat via voice or text while watching too, and to get it today you can find a link in the description below. And as always, make sure you check out g2a.com for some cheap games. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.